When we pray, we create such a vibe in our body, we create such a vibration in our body that the mind goes calmer. The mind experiences a stillness. The mind experiences not thinking about anything. If I may ask you, for all these last 15 minutes, what was running in your mind? Nothing. So when we pray, to whom are we praying? We are not praying to somebody. Then what is praying? Praying is creating that stillness and peace in the mind. We are not waiting for some answer to come from up above the sky. When we pray, what we do? We are creating a zone for ourselves where there is no place for grief. We are creating a zone in ourselves where there is no room for worries. We are creating a zone where there is no room for despair. And that is the power of prayer. बहुत लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि भगवान को हम याद कर रहे हैं, हम भगवान को खुश कर रहे हैं. अरे भगवान कोई इंसान थोड़ी जिसको मस्का मारना पड़ेगा. मस्का माने बटर. प्रार्थना का मतलब हम किसी के लिए नहीं, हम अपने अंतर उतरते हैं और हम अपनी दिव्यता को अनुभव करना चाहते हैं. दिस इज द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक व्हाट यू हैव बीन डूइंग फॉर एजेस, एंड दैट इज थिंकिंग दैट यू आर जस्ट एन ऑर्डिनरी मॉर्टल बीइंग. यू आर नॉट दैट. यू आर नाइदर ऑर्डिनरी नॉर मॉर्टल. That is not your reality at all. Your reality is this, that you are immortal and you are not ordinary, you are a divine being. You are a divine existence. As divine as God can be. So that is why Veda says, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. Veda is not asking you to look for God outside of you. No, no, no. Ved means, it comes from the root vid. Vid in Sanskrit means to know. So Ved means to know. You know what? People in name of religion are just believers. They are not seekers. But the true religiosity would be to be a seeker. Don't believe in God. That is crap, junk, garbage. And that is what in the whole world it's happening. Some people believe, some people don't believe, then they fight amongst themselves. They have their arguments, Sometimes they win, sometimes those win. So they keep on debating. There is no need for that. So being a believer is not a good thing. It might shock you what I am saying. Don't be a believer. I am not. When you say, Guru Ma, we love you, I don't believe you. Because you are just using a good statement to make me foolishly happy. Unfortunately, one, I'm not foolish. And two, I don't need somebody to make me happy. That's the freedom. See? You take away everything from me, and you will still not make me unhappy. You can kill this body, and you can still not make me unhappy. And you make me President of United States, and you can still not make me happy. Because a happiness which is dependent on external circumstances is never a happiness. It might be pleasure. You too are what I am. So if this can happen to me, then this can happen too. If this liberation can occur to me, then this liberation is possible for you. And that is what I keep on saying again and again and again in 100 million ways. You are not an ordinary being. Please, when you go back, don't say this to your family members, come on, treat me well, I am not a common person. Because if I am saying this for you, then when I say you, this you is applicable to all human beings. So there is nobody higher and nobody lower. In our true reality, you and me are one. Me and Krishna is one. Me and Ram is one. Me and Allah is one. Me and Vaheguru is one. So if I am one with that absolute, so are you. स्वयं को मात्र शरीर समझना भूल है. शरीर तो भाई गल जाएगा, टूट जाएगा, रोगी हो जाता है. स्वयं को मन मानना भी भूल है, क्योंकि मन बदलता रहता है. पतंजलि योग सूत्र कहता है क्षिप्त विक्षिप्त मूढ़ एकाग्र निरोध. ये 5 स्थितियां मन की रहती है. मन बदलता रहता है. सो मन के साथ भी अगर हम अपने स्वामित्व को या अपनी पहचान को हम जोड़ लेते हैं तो फिर हम भी बदलने लग जाते हैं. तो कहा शरीर को पीछे कर, हटा, और मन को भी पीछे हटा, और इस सोच विचार करने वाली बुद्धि को भी पीछे हटा, और देख तू कौन है. आत्मस्वरूप हो. We are born with the body, but that doesn't mean that we are body. We are born with the faculty of the mind, but that doesn't mean we are mind. We are born with the faculty of thinking, perception, observation, memory. That doesn't mean I am that. These are just your tools. So you are neither the body, nor the mind, nor the intellect, nor the senses. So if you remove all these layers, then who are you? You are the divine being. Satchitanand, in Sanskrit we say Satchitanand. Sat means that which exists. Chit, Chaitanya, conscious. Anand, blissful. That is what you are. But unfortunately, we don't understand this, and we have forgotten what our truth is, and we have taken this body to be as me. And now here comes all the insecurities and fear. Oh, I am alone. When you say I am alone, you are talking about some bodies which are missing around you. Because you love those bodies, because you have some relationship with those bodies around you. Hence, when they are not there, you miss them. Don't you say this so often? Oh, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. And when somebody says, I miss you, you feel so good because you feel important. Oh, so much of inferiority complex, see? See, when you will go back from here after 5 days and 6th day, you reach home, you talk to your husband or wife or son or daughter and say, did you miss me? And you say, no, absolutely not. How will you feel? Say it truthfully. If they would say, oh, it was so good, when are you going again? I'll buy you a ticket, please go. But if the person says, oh, I missed you, inside you're giggling. And then you say, but I had to go for the shivir, what do you think? But inside you're happy. We always want to be surrounded by our loved ones. This is a very common universal statement being spoken, heard and said by most of the human beings. I need you in my life. The most popular statement on the cards. I need you. You're my life. Be my wife. Then she becomes the wife. And then the person says, my life is gone. Well, she was your life. She is there. So you have 2 lives now. But it isn't like that. But we always are dependent on our relationship. It's just being human, right? You would say it is just being human. But, excuse my words, it's just being stupid. Because all bodies are mortal. All bodies are changeable. And people, these bodies have some minds in it. And the minds change. Today they love you, tomorrow they don't. Today they are alive, tomorrow they are not. Then you sulk and cry and miss, oh, where are you? 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 I heard an old man went to a shop which was repairing mobile phones. He said, please check my mobile phone, it's not working. The mechanic took the phone, checked the phone. He said, it seems to be all okay. The man said, but my son is not calling, my phone must be. It's not working, please check. He said, but your phone is okay. Yeah, but it's not possible that if my phone is okay and my son won't call me, it's not like that. My phone is bad. Can I buy a new phone? The acceptance is so difficult. I know, I have seen people, they are sitting by the phone waiting for it to ring. It doesn't ring. I have seen people checking their Androids and the iPhones again and again, and every 10 minutes and every half an hour. Oh, message has yet not come. Huh? Nobody misses me. Nobody wants me. This is something which kills people. In America, out of every 10 people, 6 are depressed. Out of every 10, 6 are depressed. The other 4, they are not totally non-depressed, they just are not yet recognizing it, or 2% of them are the infants and the children. But I met a 10-year-old child in Washington, and that boy said, I am so stressed. 10-year-old. I am so stressed that my parents get frustrated and I don't know what to do about my stress. He's 10 years old. Stress means I am unhappy. Stress means I am lonely. Stress means nobody loves me. Stress means nobody needs me. Stress means nobody wants me. Stress means I am incomplete. This is stress. So sometimes people like to buy attention. So buy your so-called loved ones some gifts, expensive ones, not cheap ones. That makes them happy, then they say, oh, I love you so much. So to seek attention, to gain applaud, to feel good, people spend money. They do shopping. I'm not saying shopping is bad. Take me to shopping, I'll go with you. But I'll use your card. Shopping is not bad, but as long as you are buying what is needed by you, really what you need. Don't be a hoarder. Just yesterday I was watching a program. It was a slot in the news. Hoarders. These people were not only hoarding the trash, but also the poop of their animals. And they were sunk in that. Last 15-20 years, they had not thrown a single tissue paper out of their home. They are so obsessed with the stuff around them that they sleep there, they eat there. And they say, when they were asked to leave the house so that they can clean the house, they started crying and yelling and went hysterical. I haven't seen any animal doing this. I haven't seen ever any bird behaving in this stupid way. It is the only prerogative of the humans who will do this kind of nonsense. Sign of depression. And we do need to understand that it hits people so badly. So badly. And if you are in continuity in stress, then it changes the chemical composition of your body and brain. And your body becomes a laboratory where in continuity, negative enzymes and negative hormones are getting released in the blood, which makes you further and further, more sad, more miserable, until the person commits the suicide. जब हम बाहर से दूसरों से प्यार की उम्मीद लिए जीते हैं, हमें कोई पूछे इस उम्मीद में रहते हैं, और हम अकेले नहीं रह सकते हैं, हमें हमेशा कोई साथ में चाहिए. अभी हुआ मेरे साथ, मैं दुबई एयरपोर्ट पे बैठी थी, ये लोग सब सामान कलेक्ट कर रहे थे. एक महिला ने मुझे पहचान लिया तो खुश हो गई, मिलके थोड़ा बातचीत किए. उसने अपना सामान ले लिया था, पर वो जाए ही नहीं, वो मेरे से खड़ी और बात. और फिर जब लोग खड़े होते हैं और बात करते हैं तो कोई ज्ञान की बात थोड़े करते हैं, एकदम. और नीति बोली ड्रेस बड़ी अच्छी है आपकी, डोंट डू स्मॉल टॉक विद मी. तो वो महिला बोले जा रही थी. फिर मैंने उसको कहा कि आपको जाना नहीं, आपका तो सामान आ गया, आप जा सकती. हाय हाय, मैं आपको अकेले छोड़ के चली जाऊं. मैं पर मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा आप जाएंगी तो. आप जा सकती है. नहीं, आपको अकेले छोड़ दूं. मैंने कहा आप चिंता मत करिए, मुझे अकेला रहना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. तो कह रही ठीक है फिर, अच्छा सच में? हाँ, लिख के दूं. What a relief. I don't want to be disrespectful to people when they, want to have a small talk with me. But I always say, why are you making yourself small by doing a small talk? And why are you making me small by doing that small talk? If I answer, it's not good. If I don't answer, then you will feel very offended that she doesn't speak and talk to us. पंजाबी में एक कहावत है, कल्ला है सो अल्लाह है, दुअल्ला है सो चल्ला है. आप अगर अकेले हैं तो आप अल्लाह के साथ मन जुड़ा है तो आप अल्लाह वाले हो जाते हैं। और किसी और के साथ बैठ के कोई दूसरा आ गया, दूसरे के साथ आप क्या बात करेंगे? दुनिया की कोई बात करेंगे, और दुनिया की बातें तुम्हें पागल बना कर छोड़ेंगी। पर आप अपने आप से पूछिए, क्या आपको अकेला रहना अच्छा लगे? आपको बिल्कुल अपने मकान में अकेला रहने का मौका दिया जाए तो कैसा लगे? और याद रहे, वहाँ टीवी नहीं होगा, फ़ोन भी नहीं होगा, आईपैड भी नहीं होगा, कंप्यूटर भी नहीं होगा, कोई किताब भी नहीं होगी, बस आप ही आप होंगे। कुछ खाना, कुछ पानी, कुछ चाय दूध का सामान, ये बस इतना भर रखा जाए और आपको कहा जाए कि अब आप अकेले रहिए। कैसा लगेगा? मुश्किल हो जाएगी। अकेले में मुश्किल क्यों होती है? क्योंकि अकेले में हमारा मन जो सोचता है ना, उसका वॉल्यूम बहुत बढ़ जाता है, और मन अच्छा तो सोचता नहीं, और मन ऐसा ऐसा खराब सोचता है, और वो सोच इतनी ऊंची और इतनी बड़ी आवाज़ की हो जाती है कि हमें अपने ही मन के विचारों को झेलना मुश्किल हो जाता है, घबराहट होने लग जाती। In ashram we have this 21-day silent retreat program where the people are asked to stay in their room. Most of the times they'll just come out to eat, rest. They are asked even to do their yogasana in their room, and they are just going to observe silence. Many people come. And what I have seen is that some of them just run away after 4th day. They make an excuse, something has gone wrong, I have to go. And sometimes they don't even meet me in person. When they come, they meet me in person. Oh, I have come for 21-day retreat. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Nice, please. Enjoy your stay here. And then they run away, sneak out like a thief. What happened? And then I have some people who do finish it 21 days, and then they say, well, the first week was so hard. It seemed I'm going crazy. Who was making them crazy? I don't have televisions in the ashram. There is no music running. There is no device given. If they have their phone and they use it, that's a different thing. But ashram doesn't give any device in the rooms to play. It is just a plain Spartan room with the bed and a washroom. That's it, and 2 chairs to sit and a small table. Very Spartan. Who is making them crazy? In a house you say your husband is making you crazy, your children are making you crazy, your employees are giving you hard time, your employer is giving you hard time. You're in a room where you don't have to think about cooking, shopping, grocery, nothing. You are getting 3 meals cooked, hot, nice, tasty food. You are getting tea twice a day. You don't have to, do anything over there. You are being served with love and respect. You have a room to stay in, and yet people say, oh, I'm going crazy. Some of them say by 2nd week, slowly mind started calming down. The 3rd week it was okay, and now when it has finished, I think so I could have done it for some more time. But some run away, some stay there but they are in a hell, but some they survive it, some they say we wish to elongate it, extend it. So I have seen this drama of the mind playing. One person said, because it was silence to be observed, and I don't know how to remain silent, and I'm sitting all alone. Now I cannot talk to the other ashram people because they will come to know I'm talking. I'm breaking my own vow. So I would shut the room and talk to myself. He said, the rule is you don't talk to anybody. But this is not a rule that I cannot talk to myself. So I would ask a question and also answer it.